Well, let's talk about brownies, but they have a special name. It's like chocolate fudge brown. What is this,
Yeah, they're
Chris?
just gourmet fudge brownies, and
Gourmet fudge brownies.
I've actually been selling these now for 15 years. Can you believe that? Almost 15, 14 years.
Did you start selling them on the street corner, or tell me
Yeah,
about
pretty
this?
much, pretty much.
Tell me how this all started, dude.
Well, actually, so here's a cool story. So right out of college, I worked for Cintas Corporation, and I quit when I was 23 to build a network marketing company called Send Out Cards. And we had, and I know that you're familiar with Send Out Cards.
Yep.
And I had about between 10, like I think it was between 10 and 13,000 distributors and customers. I think it was closer to 13,000. And they were based out of Salt Lake City, and so there was a company out of there that does wholesaling only called Cookie Tree, and they big, massive. They only do a couple things like brownies, cookies, and a couple of other things, and that's it. And so when I started AM Cards 5 years ago, I was so determined to get a really good gourmet fudge brownie because I just know how impactful it was for 6.5 years of working with thousands of people. And the stories just kept on compiling about these brownies and about, how just awesome it is. And it comes to referrals or staying in touch, whatever. And so I was so determined. And then my wife, at the time was my girlfriend, and she knew I was searching like crazy. We were going to local places in Orlando. I'm driving in, tasting, buying brownies everywhere, seeing if they could like make them by the bulk, and we could single package them and stuff. And then she goes, why don't you talk to my Cisco food rep? And I was like, okay. And so they actually signed me up as a favor greeting card company, as a food distributor. And I was able to get it through a specialty order out of Utah through Cisco that goes through third party they're baked fresh, frozen, flash frozen. And then here's like an example. I don't know if you can see
I can see that.
Yeah, see that right there?
I'm not too happy that you're showing it to me and I can't bite it, but
I'm kind of on a semi-cleanse right now. And there's brownies staring me in the face. And we're going to get into it just a bit of some really cool ways and stories over the years of how these brownies have opened doors and closed business. But so that's the story. And so we were able to ship them. And I'll tell you, in the beginning days, it was like 3 cases a month, a couple cases here, and they were still working with me. It was so nice to see that they were trying to take care of us. And then I got to the point where now that's a stocked item in Orlando because they order a couple hundred of cases at a time because we go through so many of them. And, when I'm at live events, I think you remember this, Tristan, when I was at your live event, I gave away a brownie for free when somebody signed up for AM Cards. And so when somebody eats it, they're much more apt to send them. So it became like one of the best marketing strategies for me because everybody that was signing up in a live event was eating a brownie.
Dude, honestly, I really love the brownies. And let's go a little deeper into this. First of all, everybody joining us, let us know what city and state you're from, just so we know where you're at. We already had Cynthia tell us she's from Aiken, South Carolina. So welcome. Oregon, there you go. They're coming in now. So let us know what city and state you're from. And then we're going to be talking to Curtis about not just brownies, but really the 7 game-changing secrets for opening doors. And obviously using this as one of the things. Here, I'll tell you a story, and then Curtis, I'll just send this over to you right now.
Yeah, okay. We'll go back. Yeah.
I've been using this type of a feature for a very long time. And obviously we've known each other for a while. And one of my favorite things to send out is brownies. So I have a whole drip that I created for expireds, which is now inside of AM Cards. So thanks for that. And the first one that I send out after I've talked to you, Curtis, you're the expired. I've talked to you, we engage, and you're like, I'm not going to do anything. Just, it's fine. Can I call you? And I'm like, can I call you in like 7 months, 8 months down the line? Like, yeah, see you in touch. Great. Well, the next thing I do is I go into AM Cards. If I've spoken to them and I have a pretty good feeling about them, I start them on that 6-month plan. And the first thing that goes out are brownies. So now check this out. We do this, and 3 months later, I get a text from one of the expireds, but I don't know who it is because it's just people randomly text me. Sends me a picture of the brownie and a picture of the card, right? So the brownie and then the card, and then the card that says we do things differently for selling your home. and she says, can you explain this? And she circles it a little bit more, right? And thank you for the brownies. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot deeper. And so it gives me the opportunity to explain to her what it is that we do more. I asked her for the address. It's a $4 million listing that we end up getting in Westlake Village, right behind gates. I couldn't even door knock it, but we ended up getting the listing because of that, right? It was the follow-up, but it was that touch. And that it just makes such a big difference. As corny as it sounds to some people, and look, I'll be the first one to say it sounded corny in the beginning, but I tried it anyway. And damn it, this opens doors, bro. So thank you for that, Curtis. I appreciate that. Now let's get into these 7 game-changing things that we want to talk about.
Yeah, and there's so many, and there's so many different things, and we're gonna kind of keep it to like around 7, and I'm gonna got some stories around it as well. And one of the things that I wanted to share is that, especially in real estate, I work with tons of different professions. We all have influencers that are in our life. We all have influencers that have the potential, or they send lots of referrals your way. And we all want to connect with more of those. And what a cool story, what I had one time was, there was a guy in Virginia, and he's with Remax, and he actually sent a box of brownies with a card to a human resource manager because they mutually know somebody. And it's like, I've been wanting to get into that company for a long time. And so he had a name, an address, of course, he found, and he sent a box of brownies with a card and just said, I'd love to have a conversation of being a local resource for you. And that conversation, or that card, led to a conversation, and she was blown away by the brownies, which then led to getting a deal. There was an executive flew into town, got the deal, worked with the family. The HR manager heard so much great. He just exceeded these executives that were flying into town. It was a husband and wife, and the husband got relocated, or the family got relocated, and they found in the house. And the HR manager was like, couldn't stop hearing from this guy. He's like, yeah, they're doing a great job. Well, that one job led to another, which led to another. And now that deal, that one company that does a lot of work with the government, cover contracting work, is upwards of 10 referrals a month.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, and it's a box of brownies that opened the door, and then eventually just changed not only his life, his family's life, changed lives of the people that work for him. And that was one of the most amazing stories that I heard. And I have one of my investors, one of my best friends. I mean, he uses brownies and cards all the time, and he sells private jets and concierge services. And so he's got unbelievable amount of stories of how he's used these to open doors, to start conversations. And it's something edible. It's instant. And the reason why I love, instead of sending like a gift cards are great. However, when people redeem them, they're not always thinking about you, always. And not always do they always redeem them. There's a huge, there's a whole bunch. I don't know how much, with the percentage is ridiculous. It's a multi-billion-dollar year industry of gift cards that don't get redeemed. And so the food is amazing. And now I've even taken it one step further, and not only send the brownies, but sometimes I go out do some things outside the box. Like I'll go on Uber Eats and order and find a local bakery and send an Uber Eats delivery with a note. And I'll call the place and tell them, could you please handwrite a note and include it in this and send it on over? And sometimes they're brownies and cheesecakes and cannolis and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, heck, we live in Orlando, and my in-laws are all in Recife, Brazil. And like my wife sends over pizza to her aunt a couple of days ago. It was hilarious. She's like texting back and forth with the Uber. They're on a motorbike, they're on a moped delivering. So when he stopped, he's like, hey, I just had to run out for a little bit. Could you please deliver to my mom? She's on the 2nd floor. Her name is, and it just like these types of things. Like I'm sharing this with you because there's this time that we're in. It's like everything can be fast. It's like you can go on Uber Eats, you can go on edible arrangements, you can order something and just have the opportunity to impact. Like we say with AM cards and appreciation marketing is stop making an impression, start making an impact. Yeah. And like everybody, making an impression and is just kind of status quo these days. It's like an expectation,
Yeah. And I think really going a little bit further into it, just that extra step, right? It's really how you make people feel, right? That it always goes back to that, man. It's like, how did you make somebody feel? And you can make them feel twice as good if they're receiving something just besides a card. They're getting something that's edible, like you said. It sounds so weird for me to say it because I always was the one saying, come on, brownies, right? But then you sent me some a while back ago and I ate them all, and damn, you made me feel good. So thank you, Curtis. But let's get into the seven, man.
Yeah. So, and then another one is referrals. So obviously influencers is one, and another one is referrals. And if you want more referrals, do a better job of rewarding the referrals that you are getting. And they say that behavior rewarded is behavior repeated. So one of the things that you may want to do is that, like, oftentimes people only reward the commission check. They reward at closing. And what we recommend is that make sure that you reward the behavior if you want more. Not just the commission check, because they went out of their way to send somebody your way, whether they wanted to buy or sell. And if it didn't end up turning into a contract and potentially a closed deal, that shouldn't matter to you. The whole idea is that they went out of their way to send somebody to you. So make sure that you appreciate that. And it doesn't have to be monetarily. You could do a greeting card. Yes, you can call, you can text. Would definitely let them hear your voice and let them know that my business is built primarily referrals. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. It means the world to me that you thought of me. Now, this time it didn't work out. However, it doesn't change the fact that I appreciate it so much. And that right then and there is goes a long way. Now, what we recommend is like sending brownies for sure for every time that somebody sends a referral, because it's something instant, it's gratifying. And we say, don't just send it to their house, send it to their work. Oh. And so when you send it to their work, they're opening, who sent you those? And if you sent more than a couple of packs, like we have a 6-pack of brownies that shows up like this, and it has a hand stamp, enjoy on it. It has twine, and then inside is a nice 6-pack of brownies that I think I showed you before that look like that, and which is delicious. And then on the bottom, a lot of times I'll put like PS, 12 seconds in the microwave and a scoop of ice cream equals heaven.
Dude, I'm envisioning the brownie with some like hot chocolate or some type of a coffee.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, big time. And one of the things that we're as I mentioned, like referrals are obviously really big. Influencers use it to impact influencers, to help open up doors and to help schedule meetings. When you have a conversation, you want to wow somebody. Like, for instance, we had this guy that was in Daytona Beach, and he went to a networking event at a Mercedes dealership, and he sent a card with a box of brownies to the attorney who sponsored the event. There was wine and hors d'oeuvres, and it was in a lobby, in the main lobby of the Mercedes dealership, and they pulled a car in. I think they were doing unveiling of a new series or a new car or something. Mm-hmm. And anyway, the attorney sponsored it. And there was this real estate agent just happened to follow up. He was taking our 30-day gratitude challenge. Was every day they're looking for somebody to thank. And this real estate, this attorney is quite the influencer in town. And they sent a card with a box of brownies and just said, thank you so much. I met a lot of quality people, and I otherwise wouldn't have if you didn't sponsor this event. So thank you so much. Well, they brought the card home to the wife, and the wife said within like the same week, he was over at their kitchen table signing a $1.2 million listing. So that just made an impact on him. Now, this attorney probably knows how many realtors, and it was just a simple fact that this person went out of his way, and they were acquaintances, so they weren't friends. I don't even know if they've ever done business together. However, $1.2 million listing from something like that is pretty awesome.
That is amazing, man. All right, so let's go into details here. Now the 7, what are these secrets that you've got outlined for people?
Well, one of the biggest ones I mentioned, the first one is the influencers. Put a plan together, okay? The plan together for the influencers and making sure that that's how I've opened up a lot of doors. Like right now, I'm working with a lot of contractors. I'll give you an example. And we do before and after marketing. And there's a gentleman out of Connecticut that owns a monster company. And I know that 10 years ago, it was $80 million a year company. And he had dealers all over the country, all over the world. And so I've been following him on Facebook. I have his personal cell phone. I could call him up. However, one of the things I did do was I see that he was racing some motorcycles and stuff recently. And so I put the picture on the card, and then I said, you know what? I've always wanted to do business with you. I just love your integrity, the way you go about business. See, you're going fast, whether it's in business or on the racetrack, and let's have a conversation. I think I found something that we can do that you're going to really like this idea. And I sent him a box of brownies. And then I followed back up with him with another couple of cards. And now that's more of like a direct approach for sure. However, I've already had somewhat of a relationship with him in the past. I know him. He knows of me, and we've crossed paths a couple of times. Awesome guy. And I truly feel that when we do have a conversation, he's going to be blown away by the brownies, and it's going to take it to the next level. The referrals. The next one is referrals. And so making sure that each and every single time that you get a referral, have a system in place for it. And what we recommend is in AM cards is creating a template around it. It's saving the card. Like, let me share my screen real quick. And I'm going to actually send Tara Carter a box of brownies right now. Okay. Because she was going to be on here right now. And I want to show you this to show you how simple it actually is. So I'm going to share my screen, and then you can see the simplicity of how AM cards could work. So you can put your signatures in here, sign on an iPad, on a phone, have all but your family members, your business partners, if you wish. Upload pictures here. You can do drip campaigns. Inside of drip campaigns, by the way, we have real estate. And thank you, Tristan, because your real estate campaigns are in here. Past clients, touch, FISBOs. We have another FISBO, staying in touch, urgent, expireds. That's yours. And all you have to do as a AM Cards member is just click clone to my account, and all of those cards just go over to your account instantly. And then you can just do the branding on the back of them, and you're ready to go. And we have a team of people that can help you as well. So let me just get back to this and show you how to send a card. You can also, we have tons of different real estate cards. Like here's a for sale by owner. This is a great one to put in a drip campaign, 14 safety tips that every for sale by owner needs to read. And it's like, unlock the back door in case you have to escape. Like, don't let anybody just off the street knock on your door and show them your house, set an appointment, get their information. It's like, also scare the crap out of them. And also, like, don't park your car in the driveway. Don't park your car in the driveway. They can block you in. Do not have your kids in the house. Hide all your pill bottles, all that kind of stuff. Walk behind them as they're touring your house so you can see them. And so it just scares them. And I actually picked up a listing off of this because the wife, so that's in our system. It's already done. Just checking in is a fun one. We see this going out every day, like tons of these cards going out.
So Curtis, let's say, because here's where agents lose it. They don't have an easy, repeatable system in place. So let's stick with referrals, and let's say my past client just referred someone to me, and it ended up closing. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to send them something. I would just type referral at the top, and all of these pop up.
Yeah, that's it. And now what I recommend is that you automatically have one, and that you already save the template. Because once you go in here and save it, like, let me show you this. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to click a card, and I'm going to send to Tara. Okay. So maybe, how about this one? You have a serious case of pure awesomeness. This is a simple one, right? Or I like this one a lot. Just for the record, you're awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So I'm going to choose this one. Now on the inside, I'm actually going to throw a little a picture of Tara, because I took a screenshot the last time we did a webinar.
That's awesome.
All right, isn't that cool? And I'm going to say, how about this? I'll just put something fun in here. Put a little bubble out of her head.
Oh, that's perfect.
What do you want Tara to say? Where's Tristan?
Where are my brownies?
Oh yeah, where are my brownies? And so for those of you that are creative out there, you guys will have a ton of fun with this. So I'm going to do that, and then just throw it inside there. Boom, done. Isn't that cool?
That is awesome.
And so there's that. And then down below, I'm going to write a message in here. And I'm going to say Tara, and now She's one of my customers.
Love it. That's pretty good. And then you would save the template, or in this case, you're creating it from scratch.
Yes, but however, like if you have a message you're going to send out over and over again, let me show you how simple this is. So I'm going to put that in there, hit done. I am going to change this here because it's how easy it is to change the font, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to add my signature. You can do your own branding on the back.
Okay.
All right. You can get rid of our logo and ours, and you can put your own on the back. So you can put your own logo, whatever you want, and then you save it. So I'm going to hit save as. Let's just do this, but you can say thank you for the referral, or nice to meet you, happy birthday, expired, FISBO, I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business, all these different types of things that you can do. There it is, done.
Nice.
There's the card, okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a box of Gourmet Fudge Brownies. We also have Dunkin' Donuts, Darden Restaurant Group. There's a really great book that you guys can send people called Appreciation Marketing. And Starbucks, Amazon, movie tickets. And then I'm going to go right here and put 6 Gourmet Fudge Brownies.
Wow.
And
why don't you do the 36?
We don't have 36.
I'm joking with you.
Sarah Carter, there she is. Coral Springs.
You already have all that. Sweet.
Drop it in. And I have her in my system already. I'm going to hit send card and it's done. And now that card will be printed tomorrow morning, stuffed in an envelope with 6 Gourmet Fudge Brownies. Actually put an envelope right here underneath the enjoy tag on this box. And she'll have it on Friday. Well, she's in Florida, so she'll have it.
Easy, dude. How awesome is that, man? And obviously there are step-by-step processes that you can take people through, right? So just in case they get a little lost.
Yeah, and online, it's like online we have, yes, you can search for whatever you want. We also have cards that are already in our system that already have written messages on them. The most impactful thing, and here's one of the biggest secrets that we have is, and I might as well get to the next one and move along a little bit, is when you celebrate like life events. For instance, somebody just runs a marathon for Boston Marathon, and they're running for the Boston Children's Hospital. I have a great friend of mine that did that because her daughter had surgery at Boston's Children's Hospital and saved her life. And so that was very near and dear to her heart. So what did I do? I went online and I took those pictures, made a card out of it, and sent it with a box of brownies. And just like the card is one thing, the brownies just take it to a whole nother level. And if I go into you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so celebrating life events. So I have, I think you know Jenny Weimer from Weimer.
She's the best, dude. I love her.
And so I sent her a card here that just said "You're possum" with the cat paws, you know, and just wrote a little message to her because she allowed me to interview her for my podcast that we're launching. And I'll just share something else. You know, I had a dear friend of mine that is a big real estate trainer. And this is one I just sent out that went out in the mail today. She lost her best friend of 15 years.
Oh, dude. Wow.
And so what I did was put the Rainbow Bridge poem on the inside and then typed up a little message. Where do I begin? Thank you for being my best friend. Thank you for always finding time to play with me. And thank you for giving me scratches.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm still here to listen to all your ideas, sorrows, and happy times. Now, I've sent her a bunch of cards over the years. She knows it's going to be me. And I didn't send it from me. I send it from her dog.
Wow. See, one thing that you're doing is you're paying attention to people's lives here. So that's really important.
If you want to earn more referrals and you want repeat and referral business, what you need to realize is the number one reason why people are going to come back to do business again is number one, they remember you. And number two, they know that you care. And when you show that you care at a different level, deeper, something like this, and this is why I feel that it's the highest and the best possible return on your time and your money is doing stuff like this, because relationships are the real currency in life. It just, matter of fact, it is. And that's the focal point of our podcast that we're launching within the next week or two called Referral Secrets. So I'll make sure that I will let you know more about that we have 47 referral secrets, and we we break them down in videos and release one a day for like 30 days, 1 or 2 a day. And then we have different tasks that people can do throughout the day. And this is 15 years of me doing this type of work and traveling the world and hearing from some of the best people around and compiling this stuff and putting it together. Because I mean, leads are great. You get a lead by what you do though. You earn a referral. You earn a referral by who you are and how you're showing up in people's lives. And don't forget that. You earn referrals, you get leads. And so what I did here was look at this. I like just put Heavenly Way from Pearly Gates, and then I put the return address from that. So I share this with you because this kind of stuff is extremely powerful. Like you just referred me to the CEO of Follow Up Boss. And great guy. I talked to him for a half an hour on the phone. What did I do? I got off the phone and I sent him this card. Just because he's in the real estate, I thought that he would think this was funny. I'll sell you home quickly, and for top dollar, I should.
That's funny.
And then I put his logo on the inside, and I wrote a little message saying it was great to connect with him. I didn't put my branding on the back because we have each other's cell phones now and email addresses, and we've been going back and forth to see what we possibly could do to potentially work together. I share that with you because that stuff, this stuff flat out works. And so you got the influencers, you got the referrals, you got recognizing important life events. Okay. And then also along with that, and here's another secret, on top of recognizing and appreciating life events that happen, whether it's negative or positive, whether it's I'm sorry for your loss, or congratulations on your promotion, or whatever it may be. So there's so many, and we have the awesome opportunity to follow people on social media and see their lives unfolding before our eyes on Instagram and Facebook. And so taking this and going through and kind of customizing this, and you can take it for another level too. So I have a mortgage guy that I work with here in Central Florida, and he was paying a coach about $5,000 a month to coach him. And they had several people. And one of the biggest things that they had to do was compile a list and then focus on their top 10, 20%. And he gets most of his business by way of real estate agent referrals. And so he does a lot of he does refinance as well. However, he really focuses on real estate. Now, let me give you an example. They said, what I'd like you to do is research the person, go to their social media, see their interests, their likes, scroll through their photos of what they posted in the last year or two. And it's really stalking them. They already have a good relationship, but it's like, do you find out that their kids love Thomas the Train? Do you see that they're a huge New York Jets fan? Now, what they do is they actually plan out their year, and they go on eBay because of RESPA violations and stuff like that. Like there's only so much that you can kind of spend and get away with and stuff. So what they do is they go on eBay and they found this New York Jets, like big #1 fan. And then they found this cool picture of Joe Namath for like $1 or $2, and then bought a frame, put it together, and mailed it out for the birthday.
Wow.
And so like, I'm sharing this with you because brownies make an impact, and it's not all about cards. It's all about kind of thinking outside the box, because what this person did was they posted on social media. It was an uproar. Another time you look and you see their kid loves Thomas the Train. So you go on Amazon and you buy a little something, and then you click on gift receipt, and then type a little note in there, and then pay the extra $4 or $5 to get it gift wrapped. It comes in you ever get a gift wrapped Amazon thing?
Yes.
It comes with like this really nice little drawstring bag.
It makes a difference, man.
It's a huge difference. It's worth the $3 or $4. So I share this with you because these are because if you have the mindset that you earn referrals by who you are and how you show up in people's lives, this is at the whole nother level of paying attention and showing that you care. And so not only you recognize important events, which is like, also schedule reminders. And I'm talking also for those of you guys out there, it's like, oh, this is great. This is great. I want to make sure that I really want to connect with this big influencer in my town. He's an attorney, or he's an accountant, or he's this, or he's that. He knows a lot of people. Be careful you don't cross the line and be kind of stalkerish. Like, it's not okay to just grab their kids off of Facebook and put it on a card when you don't know their kids and you don't know them.
That's true.
So like, make sure that you're not crossing that line, because it could do more harm than good. Make sense?
Very solid point, dude. Very solid point. I'm going to interrupt you just a quick tangent. Patty Hansen has a question. Does
Yeah.
your pricing include postage costs?
It does for the brownies, yes.
Perfect.
Now, if somebody wants to order a Starbucks card or an Amazon gift card, it charges the credit card on file. However, we have credits that goes actually towards the brownies, the postage, and everything. Yes.
Awesome. That's easy.
And actually, you know, if anybody has to hop off, should I go over the pricing and then come back and then we'll wrap it up?
Yeah, let's go to the pricing. Then we can go to number 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, cool. So let me just go over the pricing real quick. So here we got, typically we have $295 one time is the business license, and it's an investment for life, and it's $39 a month. And included in the $39 a month is that we bonus you. You have access to the system, the access to purchase all of our cards at wholesale pricing for $39 a month. And we bonus you 20 cards a month, including the stamps. So it's roughly $2 a card. And the stamps are included. And if you don't use all your credits, they roll over every month for an entire year. So we make it really simple and easy for people to, and there's no contracts and there's no commitments. You can also use your credits to send out brownies. So as we just talked about, you have the ability to send campaigns and pre-schedule cards into the future, drip campaigns and whatnot.
That's my favorite.
You have the personal branding capability, and your accountant's going to love that too, because when you're putting your branding on the back, that's considered advertisement, and then print off your invoices at the end of the year and pass it off to your accountant and see what kind of deductions are available for you there. However, what we're doing with the Lab Code Agents community and completely waiving the entire $295. So if you go to AM Cards, you're going to see the $295. However, there's a website that's here called amcards39.com. And by the way, no contracts, no commitments. This website will bring you directly to a sign up page. That's good for today, that you can sign up for only $39, and we give you 20 cards and 20 stamps. And I'm going to sweeten the deal, pun intended, because you signed up today and I see your name come through. What I want you to do is I'm going to actually, it's not the, okay, first 12. So the first 12 that sign up today, I'm going to send you a copy of my national best-selling book called Appreciation Marketing, How to Achieve Greatness Through Gratitude. And AM Card stands for AM's Appreciation Marketing. You haven't put 2 and 2 together. And then I'm also going to send you a couple of brownies in the mail so you can taste them. So I just want to go. So not only going to waive the $295 today, I'm going to give you a book and a brownie. Here's what I need you to do. Sign up for the $39 and then text this phone number after you've done it. So write it down real quick, 407-676-3272. Text this number, and this is our support line, and we'll make sure, text your name and your address, and then we'll verify you signed up, of course, and then get the book and the brownie out to you so you can
Dude,
I know we're being a little bit generous, but I appreciate you, Tristan, and your core community.
Well, I appreciate you too, and I know you actually are a very, very kind-hearted person. So, I always root for you, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, and every time you bring up the brownie, I want one, so I hate you. At the same time, I love you, and then I hate you.
Well, you know what? A sidetrack. I'm gonna share something with you. It's kind of funny because you said you're. So when I was in Australia, I was down there for 6 months, and I told a story about me going to a footy game, and they're like, yeah. So I'm like there, and I told myself after the third quarter, I'm gonna say whoever has the best, this is gonna be my team. This is the team that I'm gonna root for. And then they started laughing, and because I thought they were laughing because the Melbourne Demons were a terrible team, and they just happened to have the best quarter they had all season. And I was like, this is awesome. And I thought they were laughing because of that. And then one girl spoke up and goes, who on the team do you root for? And I go, the whole team. They erupted. Well, root over there means like having sex with. So yeah. I was like, when I was in front of like 80 to 100 people and I just went with it. I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was so funny, but it's just being over there in the language. So when you say that, every time I hear that word, like rooting for it, just brings me back to like that they had like 10 years ago. It's so funny. So let's talk about a couple of other ones. Some referral secrets that especially, so how about this one? Door knocking. So there's a lot of people that do door knocking, and this is an amazing follow-up. So like you're out there door knocking, going door to door. And I know that in some of the trainings that I've seen that there's all different types of scripts. And one of these scripts was they're talking about like inviting to an open house that might have in the area. So it gives you a reason to show up, invite them to the open house that's coming up this weekend, give them some literature, some information on it or whatever. And then what ends up happening is it starts conversations, right? And so these conversations that they're having, when they have like a really good conversation, so it's like, yeah, you know, I'd like to come over. I'm thinking about like selling my home in maybe about 6 months. You think, you know, what this house would probably go for or whatever. Or they just have any kind of conversation around real estate that's positive. Here's what they do. Here's what I started training is you walk out to the sidewalk or depending on the house, go out in the driveway and grab your phone and take a selfie with you with the house behind it. And then email it to yourself. And then with the subject line, just put the address. And so now when you get back to your office, you grab that. Of course, you're a ninja, so you can find out who the owners were, right? You know how to do that as real estate agents. So you grab the name, you grab the name, match it to the address, send them a card, but you already have the card already saved in your system. You just put the picture on the front and their name with a box of brownies. It was a pleasure meeting you other day. Thank you so much for taking the time to have a conversation. And then you edit it just a little bit per the conversation that you had. And the email, before you go door knock the next house, in the subject line, put the address. And then in the body, just put a note or two, just a bullet point or two, just to remember what they have to say. Looking to sell my house, or I'm moving, or whatever it may be. I'm renting right now and I want to buy. So now there's a couple opportunities. Find out who the owner of that house is and reach out to them because they might want to sell if that renter is moving out. And another opportunity is to work with that other one as a buyer. So that has actually been amazing. I've seen so many people do that little ninja referral strategy there, the little ninja brownie strategy. And it's like, you had that moment, we had the conversation. But how many times that you think that you're definitely going to have another conversation with them and they don't pick up your phone, they don't you're just ghosted. Now I did it. So another referral secret on top of that is, so it's number 5 or 6, what I just shared. But here's
number six.
Okay. So here's another one, is after open houses. So I know people that do open houses, and the people that come that fill it out, the little survey thing is, are you currently working with a realtor? If they say no and they're filling it out and you have a good conversation with them, you could take notes right on the thing or have your own notes. And this is what I've seen some agents do, is they'll follow up with a card with the house, because there's a good chance that maybe this person went and looked at other houses that same day. And they say they don't have a realtor. Well, how many other realtors did they meet that day if they happen to just be perusing around and seeing open house signs and they pull into a community and go check it out? I mean, my mom is in Cape Cod, and they bought a lot 10 years ago. They built a beautiful little home, a little 1,500 square foot, the epitome of what a Cape Cod house is. My mom's an amazing designer. The house is immaculate. They just sold it for over $400 a square foot. And it was like, boom, right? And then they bought $1 million home. And one of the things was like, they bought a house and they didn't use the same realtor. And I was just asking her, just curious, like, oh, well, he was okay. But we just happened to pop into an open house one day and we met this realtor and she just was so nice. And then she followed up and she was like really adding value. Like, what are you looking, like genuinely, what are you looking for, this and that? And then it just so happened she knew somebody that was about ready to put a house on the market and this and that. And so she really knows the area, and they started having a conversation. It didn't happen right away, but it did end up closing the deal. And now they close in like a couple of weeks. And so I was asking my mom about that, and she was like, it was just her follow-up, and that she was genuine. She wasn't pushy. She was like, wanted to help and to serve us, and boom, she just got, $30,000 plus commission check because, she just was, she was authentic. She was genuine, and she followed up. And so one of the things that I did for an open house one time is I did it on a Memorial Day weekend one time, a couple of years ago. And there was out of town people coming from all. I put signs everywhere. I was told, like in a training one time, the more signs you get out, the more people you're going to get come through your open house. So I was like, playing ducking traffic 2-3 lanes, throwing in the middle of I was everywhere in the morning. And I realized this is a dangerous job, putting out signs for open houses. It's stopping on the middle of the highway to hop up and put it on the side there. And it worked though. I had tons of people come through, and in this house was a $650,000 listing. So if somebody's going to be popping into that neighborhood, there's a good chance that maybe they're just cruising around. But I had a bunch of people that say, yeah, 650 is on my lower end. And then I made a huge like $30,000-$40,000 mistake because I told them where they were selling some new homes, and then they just went over there and they bought a $950,000 house. And if I just brought them over there, I would have been able to. So that was a rookie mistake. But what I did was I followed up with brownies. So some of these people, I didn't do it right away. They just ghosted me. There was this couple from South Carolina that came into town and was like all about this. I had a couple from Michigan, and they were so nice. And they even came back in town, and I showed them even more homes because I sent them a card and a box of brownies as a follow-up. After they ghosted me, then they got the box of brownies, and they were sorry they didn't reach back out to me and said, thank you so much. Brownies were delicious. And it sparked up that conversation again. So door knocking, follow-up after open house, referrals, like influencers and all of that. So there's so many different opportunities that you can do this.
That's so true. I just had, there's a couple of questions, and then we'll go to number 7. Yeah. I'll repeat them all, guys. Don't worry. But here, I wanted to give you a comment from Heidi Gornick.
Okay.
I had the membership for a while now, and I love it. I don't use it as much as I should, and I love your tips about taking a selfie in front of the house and mailing a card and brownie to the homeowners with a note. Brilliant. Thank you. And then Patty Hansen, who had a couple of questions at the beginning, she said, I signed up. So she just signed up, so that was good. And then Sid had a question over on the Facebook side of things. Here it's Sid Sinai. Is there a time commitment, Curtis? Do we have do we have to commit for a year, certain number of months? And I'll let you answer that. I already answered it before. So
no, there's no contracts and no commitments. The only thing is when somebody cancels their membership, the system no longer sees them as to be able to purchase at wholesale. So it goes to retail, which is $4.25. So know that it does roll over for a whole year. So what oftentimes they'll do is if you have a month where you're not sending as many cards, know that you can send a box of brownies and use your credits too. So the brownies are like anywhere just over $20, I think. And so that's with the postage, 2-day shipping, that's with the brownies and the card all together is just over $20. And so if you're going to send, 1 or 2 of those a month, there's your $40. So the appreciation marketing is something I always share when I break them down and I show all different types of ideas and different creative ways that they can use this, that they realize that it's such a minimal investment compared to what they're doing elsewhere. And you're really investing in the relationship. So if you don't use all your credits, though, they roll over for a whole year. So the holidays rolls around, you can upload a list and send one card to a whole bunch of people. So
that's key, man. I love it. All right, let's go over the 6 really quick. Number 1, target influencers. This way you're making a bigger impact quicker. Number 2, referrals. Each time you get a referral, obviously send out a thank you note with brownies, possibly. Next, celebrate life events. Next, schedule reminders. So that's way not to forget about the important.
And when I say also schedule reminders, let me kind of touch on that just a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, is that with that one, also, if you see that somebody lost a loved one, put the reminder in your system, either AM cards or I actually have an app that I paid 99 cents for called Occasions. And you can be reminded. And what I recommend that you do is be reminded the day before the event. And the reason is because on Facebook, oftentimes people post a year, like, I can't believe it's been a year since I lost my father or this or that. It depends on the person, the relationship. However, if this is somebody that's like in your top, like you make sure that you're staying on top of things, reach out the day before and just send them a text message. It doesn't have to be much. Just say, hey, I know tomorrow's going to be a tough day for you. And I just wanted to reach out and say that I'm thinking about you, sending my love, my prayers. Boom. Like people like, that was like probably the nicest thing. Now my brother was killed on a freak dirt bike accident when he was 23. And there's a couple of people in my life that remember the day that he passed. And it actually reaches out to me every single year, and it means a lot, and it's like, wow. Now, I don't necessarily recommend every single year for certain people. However, like an anniversary I've done is a couple of very close friends lost their dog, and I was just like, it's a family member, and I know how much they just loved and cared for their dog. And so on the year anniversary, the day before, I sent them a text. And of course they remember, and the house remembers. Nobody else does, except when they get the reminder and they might share it. I want to be before that. And so I don't do it on year 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I think that's a little weird. And however, that one year, it's like, it shows a lot. And so just be more intentional. And one of the things that we talk about too in the referral secrets, it's not one of them that I'm talking about today, but is intentional acts of kindness. I don't believe in random acts of kindness. I think that everything is intentional. And so you obviously have a thought and you act on it. That's it. That's with intention. That's nothing random about it. And so being more conscious of things that you can do to show up in people's lives. And that leads me to the referral secret number 7, and that is simply time block. Gary Keller from Keller Williams, as you know, wrote the book, The One Thing with Jay Papasan, and they talk about that and that thing. And what I recommend is making appreciation marketing your one thing, maybe 30 minutes a week, an hour a week, split it apart. Because if relationships really do matter to you in your business, then I strongly recommend that you carve out time, because throughout the week, things happen. And maybe we don't get around to it right away. What I do is I screenshot on Facebook and Instagram and email to myself and don't open it. And so then when I search my name and see all the unopened emails that I've sent myself, I go pluck through them one by one. It's just a little system that works for me. You can find out whatever system works for you, setting yourself reminders or putting them in your notes on your phone and then going back to it. It just works for me because I have to check my email. I try to go through it. And then when I search myself, I can put something in the subject line. I can attach pictures. I can send it on in there. So
can you imagine if people did this once a day in the morning? Spent 5 minutes on this in the morning?
And I teach and I coach it, and realistically, it's hard for me to do it daily. So I batch it and I say, once a week, twice a week, I'll send out 4, 5, 10, sometimes more. And the individual cards have the biggest impact. However, we also obviously have the ability to upload a list and to be able to send it on out.
I got that. All right. Reminders. Thank you for adding that. The Occasions app. I love that ad. Number 5, door knocking. That was great. Obviously, who was it that said they loved it? Heidi. So that was great. And after open houses, that was your last one. So what's number 7?
Well, that was the time block.
Oh,
yeah. So, in the time block, you're in obviously I tie in brownies with this a lot because I'm sending a box of brownies, I would say on average every day. And I just know that the impact that it has on the receiving end. So I continue to do it, and it just opens so many doors for me. And especially when you're finding ways to connect and people send you over referrals and whatnot. So I'm going to have to get you some more brownies in the mail, Tristan, for sending me over Dan's way. So I really appreciate that. We had a great chat.
Dude, I'm trying to find some more concrete people like that I think will increase your exposure, because I think this is an amazing thing that you've built. And
we're now, and I think that I think I brought you guys over there the last time I did it. We just got a new building, and half of the building is office space and the other half is production. And we just purchased a really big, awesome, powerful printer that is the first one that Konica sold in the whole Southeast. And I'm really proud of it because I didn't want it. They just made the deal way too sweet to not get it. And now I'm excited because it gives me the opportunity to scale. So I have to be honest, in the past, I was cringing when people wanted to send huge campaigns and lots of cards going out because we were hand stuffing everything. And so now we have a solution all around, and I'm just so thrilled and happy. We can do up to 1 million prints a month now with that one machine.
That's amazing, dude. Where's your office located?
It's in Lake Mary, Florida, which is just north of Orlando. Yeah. So yeah, it's growing now, and now we got some really cool things, and I'm really excited to launch Referral Secrets. So we're gonna have to talk a little bit more about that, because it takes people through a process, and I have some really cool, like what I shared today was a few of them. And then there's about another 40 of them that we go in depth and talk about. So, and they're all videos between 7 and 15 minutes a piece, but they're one a day. It's easier to consume it that way than say, here's 5 hours of video content.
I love that, dude. Yeah. As soon as you launch that, let me know. And then we can throw in a few more secrets of the videos recorded into lab coats, and then do a whole session on this when you go.
Awesome.
I love it, dude. All right. Anything you want to add in closing here? We did the 7.
Yeah, we did the 7. I'll just go back. I'm going to share my my screen real quick again, and I'm just going to go over this if some people just hopped on last minute. So what we are going to do is with this, it's $295 typically for a license. Because of lab coat agents and the relationship we have with all you guys, we're completely waiving that today. It's only $39, and what we do is we bonus you 20 cards a month with that. And so if you don't use them all, they roll over every month for a whole year. So that's 20 cards. Put the credits in your account. You can also use your credits to send brownies, campaigns. You have personal branding, which is awesome. There's no contracts and there's no commitments. And the website to sign up direct is amcards39.com, and that waives the $295, and that's good for today. And what I'm going to do is for the first 12 of you guys that sign up, I want you to text this number that you signed up and put your name and your address that you would like us to send a couple of brownies and a book. And we'll make sure that we get that in the mail for you so you guys can enjoy. And we recommend throwing it in the microwave for a few seconds and scoop of ice cream and read the book, because there's some great stuff in that too.
I love it, dude. Well, thank you so much for your time. Guys, sign up if you haven't already. It's super, super useful. I use it every month. I was just looking at the back end right now. I needed to upload a few more of my past clients. So Curtis, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. amcards39.com. Guys, if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. So go ahead and reach me through Facebook or Instagram. And Curtis, what's the fastest way to reach you?
Well, that phone number that I put on there is my direct number. Now, if you would like to, you can send me an email, curtis@amcards.com, curtis@amcards.com. You can send me an email directly as well. I'm also on Facebook, and reach out to me that way as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Gosh, time flies when you're having fun.
That was good, man. Great 7 points, by the way. I love it. Thank you so much, Curtis.
Thank you.